Hey guys, it's Mark Wiley with the Mark Wiley Realty Group here at Keller Williams Realty Southwest. That was a mouthful. I'm here broadcasting from my bedroom today because at week 8 of home quarantine, I am officially kicked out of our home office. My wife has commandeered the space and she is running her business out of the office. I am mobile because I'm usually out in the field in my listings. So listen, here I am. I'm going to give you a market update. The news this week is much better than the weeks prior. Every week, the numbers get a little bit better over the last 6 weeks. And so here I am. I want to break this down for you. We're going to do this really quick. If you guys have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. You can call me, text me, 702-499-1915. You can email me, mark@markwileyrealty.com. Either way, I'm here as your advisor. I want you to know that I'm here with no strings attached. If you guys have questions, you need advice, consider me your resource. I'd love to talk to you. So let's dive right into it. I'm going to share my screen with you here. And there's the graph. Everybody, if you've been watching this every week, you're familiar with this. But let's just start in the bottom row. Okay, that's the previous 7 days. We pulled these numbers yesterday and broke it down a little bit. So here we go. Inventory, we have seen that the numbers really staying about the same. We haven't seen an increase, decrease of anything substantial. So we're going to say that the inventory is holding strong, right around 6,000 homes. Again, this is single family homes, no condos, townhomes. We're looking at the majority of our inventory here. And so why is it staying the same, you ask? If you look at the far right column, these are new listings that hit the market. So we've got somewhere between it's fallen below that in the past couple of weeks, but we've got roughly around 600 homes hitting the market every week. And then let's look over here. Third column, you see, this is how many homes go under contract the previous 7 days. You'll notice these numbers are very similar to the new listings. So we're kind of trading off, right? So for every 632, we just put 605 of them into contract. So the inventory is not skyrocketing. We're not seeing a surplus of homes like some had said we're going to see 2 months ago. That was a guess, guys. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. I mean, we know what our clients are telling us, but from a grand scale, you know, somebody says we're going to hit 9,000 homes like in next month. Nobody can predict that right now. So week to week, what we're seeing is a pretty consistent correction, getting back to our normal numbers. But we dropped so much 2 months ago that it's going to take us a little bit longer. The good news is this is happening right before our peak season. So while we lost some of March, most of April, people were sitting on the sidelines, we still saw half of our normal audience were not sitting on the sidelines, right? So 400 to 600 homes going under contract tells us there's still an appetite for buyers that need to move into the market or need to make an upward movement, downward movement, right? Downsizing, upsizing. And so that's a positive sign that we're not going to hit this wall and all of a sudden see no home sales, okay? Other markets, different story. Okay, we have an agent down in Maui that we work with on our team, and last week, I think I might have mentioned, they saw one new listing, okay? And so one new listing on the whole island. However, they're not really allowed to leave their houses. They are deemed essential, but really essential was if you absolutely have to be out there, otherwise we're gonna fine you. So very different in that market, and other markets will probably be the same as that. So sticking with Las Vegas, here's what I can tell you. This week, we saw 605 homes go under contract. That's great. We're up from last week, up from 2 weeks ago. It's trending in the right direction week over week. We'd like to get that number back up to normal levels, 900 to 1,100 homes per week. I don't know if we're going to see that. If we do, it is going to be June, July, the busiest months of the year. If we don't see that, we might find that this is our new normal for this year. Hopefully not, but even if we did make this our new normal and we're having 600 homes move a week, that's still going to allow us to maintain a pretty healthy market. We're not going to see a surplus, which means if we have low inventory, values stay strong, possibly go up, but it's going to be very segmented by price point. Okay, this isn't a blanket statement that everybody's going to do well, everybody's going to lose. That we can't do that right now. So let's talk a little bit about these other columns here, X and WU. That's X means that a listing expired, meaning the listing agent couldn't sell it, and the seller decided they don't want to keep it on the market. So they terminate the listing. This number goes up every 4 weeks, okay? Meaning when I take a listing agreement, I always write the expiration date for the end of a month, whatever month that is. So we generally see, and you can look at this right here, 189 this week, go back a month, 183, 174. That was a big one, those 2 weeks in a row. But again, that was right at the onset of COVID. We were 2 weeks into home quarantine. a lot of people just said, forget this, we'll revisit later. Go back another month, it was 179. Go back another month to February, it was 199. So even pre-COVID, we were seeing this monthly routine where the expired listings spiked. So I'm not reading too much into that. That looks pretty normal to me. We also saw 188 withdrawn listings. WU means that they withdrew it, but they didn't cancel the listing. It just means they either temporarily took it off the market or they wanted to take it off the market to reassess, if they want to keep their listing agent. Maybe they want to ride out the rest of their agreement with the seller and the listing agent agreement so that they can pick a new agent later, and they just take it off the market to ride it out. So there's a couple of reasons behind that, but again, it kind of flows with that monthly. Every month there's a spike in that. So I'm not too scared about that. I certainly understand if people don't want to have buyers coming through their home right now. If they're not in a rush to sell, they may just temporarily withdraw it and then bring it back, maybe next month when the quarantine's lifted. The other thing here is, and this is positive news, guys, the sold column, we're back up again. So last week we saw a low for the year at 383 closings. This week, big spike up almost by 100 homes, 478. So that's a good sign. Hopefully that number continues to climb as we go through the busy season. We do expect that. And it's obviously, keep an eye on those going under contract can kind of give you an indicator of what we're going to see 4 weeks from now, as most homes will close in 30-ish days. So yeah, the numbers have been looking good the last 3 weeks. They've been on the increase as far as new contracts. So we anticipate that the homes closed will also continue to climb. The other things here, median price has dropped again to 305. Again, this is going to change week to week, but important to look at the history and see that we have been hovering in that 300 to 325,000 price range as a median. And then the average also sways week to week, especially the last couple. 3 weeks ago, we were at a high of 391,000 as an average sales price. Last week, 348, and now 360 this week. So that's going to fluctuate, but it's still staying in a relative range that we're safe and happy with. So no concern there. And then price reductions. Again, this tells us, what is the market doing from a buyer-seller perspective? Are sellers listing their home for what they think is a fair market value, and are buyers appreciating that value and going into contract at that? Or are they trying to lowball and take advantage of the COVID situation? Sellers aren't really buying that right now. So, we have had lowball offers on listings, and they literally use the COVID as an excuse, kind of like a scare tactic. Say, if they don't accept this, you might not get another buyer for a long time. Depending on the seller, that might mean something to them, but a lot of people don't. They're not biting on that. And so this shows right here, normal number of price reductions comparative to a normal market, and then list price versus sales price. We're still at 98%. Again, that means that buyers are writing offers at 98% on average of what the sellers are listing their home for. So that's a strong number. Hasn't really fluctuated much, usually by 1 percentage point. If we start to see that number drop, that means that buyers are taking advantage of sellers and sellers are accepting it. So we'll keep an eye on that, but right now there's nothing of alarm. And then the last number here, again, I think I touched on this, but this is the number we really want to see, guys. The inventory, new listings on the market in the last 7 days. That number of 632 has gone up. And so let's see, 140 new listings compared to the week prior. And the week prior to that was 528. So we're still up every week. And hopefully this climbs over the next 2 months as we're in the peak season. And people who are in the spring buying season that didn't get a home, they're going to be added to that summer mix, and it should make for a wild ride. What we're going to see the rest of the year is anybody's guess, guys. I'm going to be very forward with you. I have seen multiple news articles, local news with mixed stories. And, I know everyone has their own opinion. Everybody's got some kind of expertise in the field of real estate. But let me tell you what my thoughts are, okay? I'm not going to pressure you to buy a home. I'm not going to pressure you to sell your home. What we do is we ask you a series of questions to help identify what's your motive, what's your timeline, and do you need to put the house on the market now, or do you need to buy a house right now, okay? And I'm not saying that if you don't need to, you shouldn't. I'm saying that right now is what we know. And today, what we know is the market is still moving forward. Values are holding strong. Yes, there's price reductions. Yes, it's specific to certain areas of town over others. So, one buyer who's out there looking every night is going to have a different perspective from other buyers. Yes, it changes on price point. So a luxury seller is going to have a different experience than a $300,000 seller. Okay, multiple offers at $300,000, maybe one buyer that matches your home in a luxury every few weeks. So we have to factor all that into what's right for you. And that's what we're here for. We're your advisor. We ask you the pointed questions to help get you to that answer. And we'd love to be a part of that process for you. So, you know, we can all just follow everyone's opinion, but what I'm here to say is we're here for you to figure out what your answer is. Feel free to call us. Call my team members, call our main line, 702-527-1188. If you want to reach me directly, you can text me at 702-499-1915 or email me at mark@markwileyrealty.com. We're open 7 days a week, COVID or no COVID, and we'd love to hear from you and have a conversation. Make sure you're doing well. And that's it. So I appreciate you guys watching the video. All good news this week. Hopefully it continues next week. And we'd love to hear from you. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.